Well, hey there. Welcome back. Or welcome initially. Who's to say? I don't know. We can never predict these things now, can we? Well, you know what we like to do if you've been here before? We like to set the mood before we dive in with another reading from Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. That is correct, my friends. My enemies. Who's to say? Let's get into it. I'm about to make some enemies with my harp playing. Oh, I was drawing on the comb itself. You gotta draw through the holes, baby. You can blow through them once an occasion too. That's why I'm always out of breath here. I got an addiction for the drawing. That's right. Hey there. So what are we gonna read today? Well, last time we read the Willow-Wren. That's right. And the story continues with the Willow-Wren and the bear. All right, let's get into it. Are you nice and comfortable? I hope you are. If you're not, this will maybe make you a little more uncomfortable. Who's to say until we get to the end? All right. The Willow-Wren and the bear. One summer day, the bear and the wolf were walking in the forest, and the bear heard a bird singing so beautifully that he said, "Brother Wolf, what bird is that sings so well?" "That is the king of the birds," said the wolf, "before whom we must bow down." It was, however, in reality, the Willow-Wren. "If that's the case," said the bear, "I should very much like to see his royal palace. Come take me thither." "And that is not done quite as you seem to think," said the wolf. "You must wait until the queen comes." And soon afterwards the queen arrived with some food in her beak. And the Lord King came too, and they began to feed their young ones. The bear would have liked to go at once, but the wolf held him back by the sleeve and said, "No, you must wait until the Lord and Lady Queen have gone away again." So they observed the hole in which was the nest and trotted away. The bear, however, could not rest until he had seen the royal palace, and when a short time had passed, again went to it. The king and queen had just flown out, so he peeped in and saw 5 or 6 young ones laying in it. "Is that the royal palace?" cried the bear. "It is a wretched place, and you are not a king's children. You are disputable children." When the young wrens heard that, they were frightfully angry, and screamed, "Know that we are not. Our parents are honest people. Bear, you will have to pay for that." And the bear and the wolf grew uneasy, and turned back and went into their holes. The young willow-wrens, however, continued to cry and scream, and when their parents again brought food, they said, "We will not so much as touch one fly's leg, no, not if we were dying of hunger, until you have settled whether we are respectable children or not. The bear's been here and insulted us." Then the old king said, "Be easy, he shall be punished." And he at once flew to the queen. It flew with the queen, rather, to a bear's cave and called in, "Old Growler, why have you insulted my children? You shall suffer for it. We will punish you by bloody war." This war was announced to the bear, and all 4-footed animals were summoned to take part in it. Oxen, asses, cows, deer, and every other animal the earth contained. And the willow-wren summoned everything which flew in the air, not only birds large and small, but midges and hornets, bees and flies had to come. And when the time came for the war to begin, the Willow-Wren sent out spies to discover who was the enemy's commander-in-chief. The gnat, who was the most crafty, flew into the forest where the enemy was assembled, and hid herself beneath a leaf of a tree where the watchword was to be given. There stood the bear, and he called the fox before him and said, "Fox, you are the most cunning of all animals, and you shall be a general and lead us." "Good," said the fox, "but what signal shall we agree upon?" No one knew that, so the fox said, "I have a fine, long, bushy tail, which almost looks like a plume of red feathers. When I lift my tail up quite high, all is going well, and you must charge. But if I let it hang down, run away as fast as you can." When the gnat had heard that, well, she flew away again and revealed everything with the greatest minuteness to the Willow-Wren. When day broke and the battle was to begin, all the four-footed animals came running up with such a noise that the earth trembled. And the Willow-Wren also came flying through the air with his army with such a humming and whirring and swarming that everyone was uneasy and afraid. And on both sides they advanced against each other. But the Willow-Wren set down the hornet, with orders to get beneath the fox's tail and sting it with all his might. And when the fox felt the first sting, he started so that it drew up one leg with the pain, but he bore it and still kept his tail high in the air. At the second sting, he was forced to put it down for a moment. And at the third, he could no longer hold it out, and screamed out and put his tail between his legs. When the animals saw that, they thought all was lost, and began to fly, each to his hole, and the birds had won the battle. Then the king and queen flew home to their children and cried, "Children, rejoice, eat and drink your heart's content. We have won the battle." But the young wrens said, "We will not eat yet. The bear must come to the nest and beg for pardon and say that we are honorable children before we would do that." And then the Willow-Wren flew to the bear's hole and cried, "Growler, you are to come to the nest of my children and beg their pardon, or else every rib of your body shall be broken." So the bear crept thither in the greatest fear and begged their pardon. And now at last the young wrens were satisfied, sat down together, and ate and drank, and made merry till quite late into the night. And that has been the Willow-Wren and the bear. Join us next time for the little folks' presents. That's right, unless we choose another one, who's to say? In any event, this has been Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. I got a link for this down in the description, an affiliate link sorts, so you can support the channel, support me, and get you your own copy. That's right. Okay, you ready? Let's take us out. All right, I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and I hope you come back for another telling of Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. Kiss to the missus and a tip of my hat to your old cat. Take care now, you understand? You hear? I hope you enjoyed yourself. And come on back again, like I said before.